innovation is at heart of every progressive institute, and we at Lancers also promote a lot of innovation. We encourage our students to think out of the box. Just right now, while toying with this idea of innovation, something comes to my mind which I would like to share, and that was an incident I read in one of the articles wherein 4 very senior and naughty students of the school were given a project. An egg was given by the professor, and the professor said, "You'll have to submit this egg within a week's time." Being mischievous as they were, the egg broke the next day. Now, what was the solution? There is a problem here, and the moment the week was over, the professor asked, "Where's the egg?" Now, the 4 of them looking at each other, one of them took out a chicken out of the bag. And that, according to me, is innovation. You know, they justify their act by saying that we looked after the egg so well that it got incubated and the chicken is born, and here it is, it's well and healthy. So that's innovation. Normally when we talk about innovation, it is a very frightening idea because it needs a lot of ingenuous thinking by well-speaking, thoughtful, insightful mindset. So when it comes to innovation, children normally, students in schools, they shirk and they start feeling discouraged whether they should put forth their idea. But at Lancers in our school, we allow our children in a very non-threatening environment to experiment. And it is that experimentation and that allowance to fail and try again and keep trying as many times as they fail encourages them to a process of innovation. Maybe they don't succeed every time, but at least there is a courage to perform again. Maybe someday they are just students to learn and to experiment and allowed to fail also. During the zest time, one of our science teachers experimented a project on rocket building. They tried with the process of learning towards being successful. They did it to a certain extent. Partial success was there. One of the rockets was launched, but on the D-Day when it was to be done, the rockets did not go up. There is a little failure, there was a little disappointment, but with the process of learning towards being success, there was a lot of learning. Life skills were learnt by these students, and they again got the support of each other to be able to do it again. So this is the kind of innovation that is encouraged in our school in every way of life, whether it's sports, whether it's extracurricular activities, or whether it's in a class. Now in present times, when students are so young and they are exposed to the kind of information around them, there is something they want new all the time. Their attention span being very short these days, they are not in with conventional methods of teaching. So even in a classroom, there is a challenge for the teacher to be innovative. And there's always a constant process to bring in some kind of newness to the lesson, which compels them to pay attention and then be able to learn and understand the concepts and the themes very easily. So when it comes to innovation in the classroom, we encourage a lot of anecdotes, a lot of brainstorming sessions, debates, case studies encouraged by the students themselves. They bring out news reports and they discuss, they ideate, they collaborate. And during certain other extracurricular activities also, many of the students go for working models. Many a times they don't really know. So there is a skill, a concept recently that we would like to introduce, the design thinking, wherein a teacher empathizes with the student. The teacher understands what the problem, what the issue, what the concept, what the idea is like. And then there is a discussion and the problem is defined. Once the problem is defined, the solution is thought about. There is a lot of brainstorming, discussion and debates. There is trial and error, and every process of learning is very fruitful because there is a step forward they are going towards innovation. No matter how much difficult, how much hard it is, but gradual process is definitely there, and that's what is called learning. For a student to be able to learn, just getting 1 inch closer to success is learning, and that's what Lance's Army School promotes. Once the solution is thought about, the solution is defined, there is the solution and there is ideation by discussing with students, by bringing in new ideas, by reading information, by surfing the net, whichever way they can, they try, and finally there is some kind of testing that is done, and that's called design thinking, which we would like to promote in the near future. And that's innovation at Lance's Army School.